Thanks for watching this video brought to you by AN Immigration Services and Consulting. Please ensure that you watch this video at high resolution for best video quality, as we are going to show you a flow chart in this video. The content in this video is only for reference. Please seek professional advice about the content in this video. Please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel. Let us be part of your journey in Australia and support you throughout this journey. In this video, we will walk through the application process and the visa eligibility criteria by following a flow chart for applying for a subclass 491 skilled work regional provisional visa with sponsorship from a family member. The red lines in this flow chart are answers no to the question in a decision step. Please simply commence from start at the very top, answer the questions in each decision step and follow the direction of the arrows. If you sponsored for a 491 visa by a family member, you are watching the right video, as other applicants can also apply for this visa through a state or territory government nomination. 491 is a provisional visa. That is, it provides a pathway for permanent residency for the visa holders. 491 visas are for skilled workers who want to live and work in regional Australia. Let's start. There are 2 steps in applying for this visa. The first step is to submit a valid visa application. If your application is not valid, your application will not be successful even if you meet all visa eligibility criteria. For any visa applications, always check whether there are any visa conditions, act-based or regulation-based restrictions that will stop you from applying for the visa. There may not be such restriction, or the restrictions may not apply to you. However, it is the awareness of any restrictions or waiver that is important. You need to complete an internet application using Form 1393. The visa application charge is $4,640 Australian dollars as of the 12th of April 2024. You must have been invited by the department to apply for the 491 visa. To qualify for being invited, you need to complete an expression of interest through SkillSelect, indicating your interest in applying for the 491 visa. SkillSelect is an online service that enables skilled workers from overseas to express their interests in migrating to Australia. To submit an expression of interest, you need to include personal information, nominated or desired occupation, details on your work experience, education, your English language proficiency, a skills assessment for your nominated occupation, and etc. SkillSelect then issues invitations to eligible applicants to apply for the visa based upon a ranking of the attributes of nominees, the pass mark and subject to ceilings on occupation numbers. Please note that the expression of interest is not a visa application. You will not have an appeal right if you are not invited. Once you have been invited, you need to apply within the invitation period, which is usually 60 days. At the time of invitation, you are under 45 years of age. You need to nominate a skilled occupation from one of the occupation lists. These occupation lists are short-term skilled occupation list, medium and long-term strategic skills list, and regional occupation list. Your nominated skilled occupation must be the one specified in the invitation letter. At the time of invitation, your skills have been assessed as suitable by a relevant assessing authority for your nominated skilled occupation. 485 temporary graduate visa skills assessments are not acceptable in relation to this visa. It is important to note that assessing authorities may set different standards for skills assessments for the same occupation. temporary and permanent visa programs may have differing purposes, and the different standards of skills assessments reflect those purposes. For example, 485 visas are aimed at assisting a graduate to gain skilled work experience in Australia. 491 visas are aimed at an applicant who already has relevant skilled work experience in the relevant occupation. The standards for a skilled assessment for a provisional and permanent visa such as the 491 visa will therefore generally be at a higher level. You must be sponsored by a person who is aged 18 or over and who is either an Australian citizen, an Australian permanent resident or an eligible New Zealand citizen. The sponsor must be related to you in one of the allowable relationships. This table shows the range of allowable relationships between the sponsor and the visa applicant. If the sponsor is not related to you in one of the allowable relationships, the sponsor can be related to your spouse or de facto partner on the condition that he or she is also a secondary visa applicant in your application. All accompanying family members included in your application must be sponsored. In the event that the relationship is based on the one between your spouse or de facto partner and the sponsor, and subsequent to visa application and before a decision is made on your application, the relationship between you and your spouse or de facto partner ceases through family breakdown, and there is no other alternative sponsor, the sponsorship cannot be accepted and your application will be refused. As this is a regional visa, you need to declare in the application that you have a genuine intention to live, work and study in a designated regional area. If you have any accompanying family members included in your visa application, they also need to declare the same intention. We have included a link to a legislative instrument showing which parts of Australia are classified as designated regional areas. You can apply for this visa in or outside Australia. If you apply in Australia, you need to hold a substantive visa, a bridging A, B or C visa. A substantive visa means a visa other than a bridging visa, a criminal justice visa or an enforcement visa. If you have submitted a valid application, the department will process your visa application, assessing whether you meet all visa eligibility criteria at the time of decision. The skills assessment, the invitation and the sponsorship requirements will be assessed again at the time of decision of your visa application. The second step is to check whether you satisfy all visa eligibility criteria. There are various public interest criteria and special return criteria that you must satisfy, including the character and health requirements. Any accompanying family members included in your visa application also need to meet public interest criteria and special return criteria. Public interest criteria also apply to any non-accompanying family members. These criteria for the family members to satisfy are called one fails, all fail criteria. This means that if any accompanying or non-accompanying family members do not meet these public interest criteria and special return criteria, your application will be refused. If there is a validity period for your skills assessment and the period does not end more than 3 years after the date of assessment, the period has not ended. If above requirements are not met, not more than 3 years had passed since the date of assessment. If your skills assessment was based on a qualification you obtained in Australia while holding a student visa, your qualification must come from studying a registered course. We have included a link to the Commonwealth Register of Institutions and Courses for overseas students where you can check whether your courses are registered. If you do not hold a passport issued by the United Kingdom, the Republic of Ireland, United States of America, Canada or New Zealand, You need to have undertaken a specified English language test and achieved the required minimum score. One of the more well-known specified English language tests is IELTS. Information about other specified English tests and the required scores are provided in a link at the end of this video. Also, the test must have been conducted in the 3 years immediately before the date of the invitation. Your assessed score under the General Points Test for General Skilled Migration Visas must not be less than 65 and the score stated in the invitation. At the time of decision of your application, the sponsorship has been accepted by the department based on the sponsor's age, citizenship or immigration status, relationship to you or your spouse or de facto partner, and residency status. Please note that all primary and secondary visa applicants in your application must be sponsored by the sponsor. Thanks for walking through the application process and the visa eligibility criteria with us. Please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel so that we can provide more content to support you.